Now, if my YouTube channel operated as such, I could have videos like this all day, every day. I got the time. I do have the time to do a video like this. It's just, I'm into big things. Like I said many times, it is God, family, football when it comes to Black Power. It's a few simple missions. I laid out which ones I think should be pursued. So, when I talk about something like this, understand that, hold on, I'm watching somebody driving right now. I gotta concentrate. These people are weird. Oh, wow. You know what it is? I'm passing by the weed store, and a whole bunch of people are doing U-turns without putting on their signals. So I had to concentrate. I would have reared in somebody. So, as I was saying, I could go into like little things we should look out for this, little things about code, little things that are important. But for me, it's 4 things. It's FTRM: family, temple system, reparations, and media. Man, everybody's going to get the bud. That's why I went earlier. I want to give an update about the movie script that I wrote. It has a message that's shared about compromise with something else. Now, do you remember when Issa Rae came out talking about, well, actually, this was a while ago and somebody discovered it, but she mentioned how Black women and Asian men should get together because they're the least desired. And she got a lot of heat for that. Now, truthfully, I got other issues with Issa Rae that are much larger than that. The reason, and normally I have a real simple rule when it comes to interracial dating. I have a problem with promoting it. I don't know people's individual life. I don't know what's going on with them. I definitely think it's conceivable where you, and here's the thing. I'll give it more context. We don't blowtorch the great mates. So whether you're a man or a woman, you got to sift through and try to find somebody. We don't have the culture that produces great mates. So if somebody finds a decent mate that has a different racial classification, I'm not going to question them. I'm going to look at their actions and what they do. Now, on the flip, well, not the flip, but in relation, if they are promoting it, I have a problem with that, and that problem is just logistical. Because of the amount of interracial relationships we have, we can sustain this and still build our population if we stop aborting kids, which is related to other things. So I'd rather deal with the problem instead of the symptom. But we can increase it. So if you're promoting it, I have issues with that. Yet I gave Issa Rae a pass for promoting it because the way she did it was true. Asian men have to sift through looking for an Asian woman that ain't wilding out trying to hook up with the best of whatever. She's trying to hook up with the best American. She's usually going to be a white guy, but an Asian woman, if she can find any type of dude with some bank, or even just incredible personality, she'll fuck with a brother. An Asian man is looking at her like that guy from that Tara McCarthy video I did. You know, like, you're breeding with animals. Cut that out. Now, an Asian man who wants to really consider his options might say, hey, if she can do it, I'm looking at this sister who has a lot going for her. She's a good mate. I might say hello. throw my hat in there. You know what I mean? I can't blame him. And if he tells other Asian men to do the same thing, that's between them. Now, I hold sisters to a higher standard, but I also understand that we are not blowtorching mates. So I didn't say anything and wouldn't say anything about her for saying that, because it's one of those things that's true enough, and it's sad. And I'm not that great mate for a sister anyway, so how can I criticize her for saying, hey, we the least desired, maybe we should say hi to each other? Or maybe, this is just a plot out in the media, because to be real, unless it gets to a certain number, I'd rather a sister be with the Asian man that has some money than broke black dude. And I put that at about maybe 20-80, 20%, 80%. We still got to be with each other at a 20-80 rate at least. So it's less logistical for me. And that's why I'm firm on a handful of topics when it comes to Black Power, because the little things you got to hash out piece by piece. You got to make compromises, right? The big things like reparations have to trump that. And that's why when Danny Glover, when I find out he has a white wife, this was after I found out what he said about reparations. So I give him a pass. And if you hear me, sisters, you have heard me say Danny Glover gets a pass because I'm into big things. Now, if interracial marriage, children goes past 2080, it's a big thing. That's where you break the compromise. Okay? That should be wisdom. Wisdom for your cipher. And then let me also say how this applies to what's been going on. I wrote a movie script, entered it in competitions. It's about the unification of ancient Egypt. Asar is asking if I read Black Power, the blueprint for Black Power. I felt like saying no, but I read 2 of your books. And Ox and Wu Jao's. Ain't that ironic? I was on the Amin Ra squad and they asking me if I read a book. I read I won't say all their books, but everybody that was on there, I'd read one of their books, at least one. And I didn't even tell them that. So I'm telling them now. Because that's how much I studied ancient Egypt to do this script. And it's getting some buzz. I put it in a bunch of competitions. And it's getting some buzz. Like, I'm invited among finalists to places, because I put them in places outside of where I can travel to. Like, I got family, but also I got people in every state that I know that can go to a competition if they get a free pass and just pass out some business cards and do that. Now, I had someone contact me a while back. They were like, if this is low budget, we can put up $20,000 and do it in Hollywood. And typically they would probably have paid me $1,000. I'm passing that up. It could be a major Hollywood studio offering, the most they would offer is $200,000. I'm passing that up. If it isn't done a certain way. Because you can mess up a movie about ancient Egypt. That happens all the time. That's a ritual. So if it isn't done a certain way to standard, I gotta no compromise on $200,000. But there's certain things that I would compromise on. You just have to have that limit. Like, there's certain things where I would rather the movie be done in the ancient Egyptian language with subtitles. You hear me? I'd rather it be done in the ancient Egyptian language as best it could be reconstructed with subtitles. And I would say, hey, how about this? I'll take 100,000 less. You know what I mean? Give me 50,000. Because some of these places that I'm invited to, because of the script, they have the major studios. So I have to be ready to know what I can compromise on and what I can't. And I've known for a while. So that's no big deal. Like that, if they were like, nah, we got to do it in English, you have subtitles for other languages. If it's that alone and everything else is as I would want, I would compromise. But if then they have janky casting and they have English and I don't know, they want to cut scenes that should be in, they want fake hieroglyphics on the walls, they want to change the names from that's one thing I would not compromise on. There is no Nubians, none of the fake stuff, no Egyptians, everything's primary source name at least. No compromise on that. That's the detail. But the overall picture of what I'm doing is related to FTRM because it's creating business through a temple system. Because if you go do this in Africa, you can take 501c3 on the road and you can get millions to do this movie. And there's my leverage. Because I know that can be done. Matter of fact, I've had people who told me it could be done after I already knew. And I was like, yeah, I know. It's one of the reasons I did this. I know. I have knowledge on the subject. It is known, like they say in Game of Thrones. So that's it. That's Black Power wisdom. When it comes to compromise, put it in your playlist. I might make some more of these.